evening and welcome to Metaphysics Today. I'm Aeson and of course I'm sitting down with my co-hostess of the mostest and also premier psychic and medium of the UK, Hazel Firefly. How are you, honey?
I'm good, thank you. How are you? Oh, and there's our little guest entrance.
Yeah, she's come up to bump me in the head. I don't know what she's wanting today. She's been all lovey-dovey.
Oh,
Ah,
bless her. How's
hello,
your
Miss
week been?
Brenda. My week's been good. It's been good. We're setting up for June. Had a very busy psychic Saturday. Totally booked from 1 o'clock, and I got done at 11. So that was a good run. Oh, but I've done a lot. Okay, let me tell you what all I've done. So at the end of the month, Psychic Saturday, my readings go on 50% on private, and I had from 2 to 6, and they booked every slot available. It was fabulous. Then at 6:30, I taught a class. Then at 8 o'clock, I done a show. At 9 o'clock, I hit the club, and I was there till 11, dancing my ass off.
Oh, well, it's
Yeah,
worth going dancing.
it is, especially in Second Life. And I've got the shop there, so I can go and do readings there.
Yeah,
So it gets interesting, but at the same time, that was a thump a day.
yeah.
Yeah,
But you feel it the following day.
the next 2 days you feel it.
Yeah.
You know, so it gets busy, it gets helpful. Um, Hello, Shannon, how are you?
Hi, Shannon. Hi, Brenda.
Glad to see you guys sitting in. But no, like I've always been that fast paced movement. I get like if
Yeah.
it is slow, I am dragging. I am like, oh god, is that clock going to go off yet?
I'm. I learned when I got to 50, I needed to start slowing down
Mm-hmm.
because I was just knackered constantly.
Yeah. And I don't know. I've gotten tired of being knackered. I've gotten tired of
Yeah.
being tired, tired of being sick, tired of being aggravated, and it's just like enough is enough.
This show works well tonight with Shannon.
Yeah, you are tired. I was listening to a few other life coaches and a few other people because I'm always tuning in, seeing what the hot beat is, all that, what the newest information is. And they're saying everyone is tired, but they're even more than just tired. They're traumatized tired.
Yeah. Yeah. But I feel this also goes back to COVID because
Yes,
when COVID was you, I don't care what anybody says, we all got lazy.
I don't think we got lazy. I think we got stuck.
Well,
And here's what I mean by that. We started analyzing everything we did,
yeah,
every piece of it. We went into our amygdala, which is the, flight or flight or fire,
yeah.
run away from a tiger. I think everyone's brain got stuck in that there's this tiger we can't see.
Do you know, that's actually a good one.
Yeah,
It really is.
from Shannon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't discover we were lazy. We discovered we needed more rest, and now we're not getting it.
Because did you have to stay in the same amount of time as we did?
No, we did not. We had yahoos out all over the place. This was so mishandled here. It was ridiculous.
I see over here we had like a full 9 months where we weren't allowed out.
Yeah, that would have been lovely. They couldn't keep
And
people out of Walmart.
perhaps that's why I think we got lazy over here as such, because
Hmm.
we weren't allowed out of the house. We just lived in PJs all the time.
Well, we didn't get that. A lot of us didn't. A lot of us got declared essential workers.
Yeah,
Right.
See, we weren't allowed to visit anybody. The only time we could visit somebody is if we cared for them.
Uh-huh. We didn't get that. Our lockdown was like
Right.
only 2 months, but it was basically certain businesses couldn't open. Now, if you were declared essential, you were allowed to open, which means your workers still had to go into work, but under precautions.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will never understand why a craft store is essential. Can someone explain that to me?
No.
I will never understand why, restaurants, they could do takeout.
The only shops that were open over here were food stores, and they had to be the big ones. The fuel stations were open for emergency workers,
Mm-hmm.
but that was it. That was it. Then when everybody
Mm-hmm.
came out of lockdown, we had a fuel shortage.
Yeah, we've had shortages. We continue to have shortage, but nobody, like, the only, it felt to me like nobody took it serious in this country.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that's why we had the greatest losses. But what it did also for us was get our amygdala stuck into there's some tiger.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's this T-Rex out there just stalking us. So we
Yeah.
start thinking about every interaction, everything. And then when we came back, it was head on, fire collision. Now they're demanding people to go back to the office. They're demanding people to, put in, go back to 70 hours a week, 80 hours a week. And they just cannot do it.
Well, they've still got a lot of our major companies over here working from home
Right.
because they found that they were getting more work done
And
with
spending
people
less
being
money.
at home. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Like, there's no reason that you need a campus of 5 acres.
No. No. It was really weird because Curtis and Narissa would check in with me
Right.
every day because they were both on the front line.
Right.
She was a midwife. Well, she still is. She's just on maternity leave. But
Right.
this is how the hospital's done it. You couldn't wear your uniform into work.
Mm-hmm.
You had to take your uniform into work and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
change out of your uniform before you left the hospital.
Mm-hmm. Which is how it should occur.
Yeah. With my son, because he's a precision engineer, so they were keeping all the big businesses going, like the power stations with their bits
Mm-hmm.
that they need. And so he was out visiting sites because that's part of what they've got to do.
Right.
But
And right. It's like I closed my office and came
yeah.
home. Hey, Devin. And
Hi,
was like,
Devin.
I'm not leaving.
Yeah.
Ooh. So someone in Scotland discovered delivery
Yeah.
during this time and stuck to it,
Yeah.
including vodka.
And that's where a lot of our more, I'm going to say, convenience stores kept to
Mm-hmm.
the delivery services after COVID.
Mm-hmm. I think the panini, let's call it the panini, so that we don't get flagged.
Yeah.
Really pushed like Instacart and everything else, which then provides income for independent workers, and there's
Yeah.
a lot of things that went on that way, and I think that we need to utilize those services much more.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, but when this doctor was saying that we've been in survivor mode since 16.
Yeah. That makes total sense.
And we were already traumatized from September.
Yeah.
9/11. That
Yeah.
struck that traumatization, and then going even further, we've got all this hustle culture that has gone on.
Yeah.
And this is especially in the psychic industry. We're taught to hustle. Hustle,
Yeah.
you have networks screaming, sign on, sign on, sign on, sign on, sign on, sign on, sign on. As the world is shutting down, we're exploding. And I
Yeah.
do mean exploding, you know, with everything going on and all the spiritual energy. And I saw a lot of psychics burn out. I see a lot of nurses burnt the hell out.
Yeah. Yeah. This is going to sound harsh. I was glad when both Curtis and Narissa caught COVID because it meant they could have time at home.
Uh-huh.
Even though they were unwell, they were still resting.
Right. And that's detrimental in thinking, but so damn true.
Yeah.
Is that, our essential workers are toast.
Yeah.
Our grocery store workers are toast.
It makes you think, how can I put it? It makes you think how many people actually want to continue working.
None of them.
Because if you look at it in the prospect of the grocery stores, they
Mm-hmm.
were so short staffed because everybody had COVID that they were
Right.
running on a skeleton staff.
Well, see, and our grocery stores are still running skeleton crew. Like they've all they used to be 24 hours. They've all went to banker's hours almost.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they don't have the people.
No. No.
Okay. These are lasting effects we will see within our community, within our world, within our system. And nobody thinks of what that actually does, what that life event actually does.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to get some hate mail on this, and you can go and you can send that email to I don't care at aeonnight.com. I rarely anymore follow big, like the Gaza Strip. I'm not following. I can't.
No. 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 I watched.
Yeah.
That is so true. That is so true.
So now we got to get back into this. One, we have to get our amygdala unstuck so that we're
Yeah.
not always on edge waiting for the next shoe to drop, waiting for the next thing to go by. We also have to find our new life balance.
Yeah.
Okay. And I know a
And
lot of people,
that's difficult.
it is.
I
You
just
know,
want to Google something while we're talking about
okay.
balances. Go on, carry on. I am listening.
Okay. And finding that point of contention to where you get back to your true happiness, get back to that balance of finding the real nourishment to the soul. And this ain't easy, point blank, to do because you get a lot of people going, you know, oh, but you got to hustle. If you're working for yourself or if you're running a business, you have to be on top of things. You've got to be into the newest social media. You got to be, doing this and doing that. And it's like, do I?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
when you get
I
to the
was
point to where you don't care anymore, then you're in danger.
just checking. The UK was in total lockdown for a total of 12 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
That would have we would have had anarchy here.
Yeah. I'll tell you the dates now. That's what I was checking.
Mm-hmm.
We went into national lockdowns March 2020 to June 2020.
Uh-huh.
January 2021 until July 2021.
Mm-hmm.
And then September, oh, right, that should have been before that.
Mm-hmm.
September 2020 until November 2020.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And that's
March 23rd.
scary. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
not only scary, that's traumatizing.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's traumatizing to, you. It's traumatizing to your system. And this happens every time you take on trauma. Every
Yeah.
time you take a hit. Be that you don't sleep one night. Be that you work 14 extra hours a week. Be that you stay up all night and clean the house because you can't sleep because you feel like something's coming.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You
And
know.
I don't think people, this is going to sound really harsh. Over here, you still can't get a doctor's appointment. It's
Mm-hmm.
mostly everything is done over the telephone.
Right.
I think that's traumatizing in a way as well.
I think it's different. I don't think it's traumatizing. And here's what I
See,
mean by that is it's different as it's not what you're used to, and they're still operating in that crisis center mode.
I I see it differently because how can you have an examination over the phone?
Depending on what it is, if you're just coming in to get your meds checked and get your blood work done, do I want to drive 5 hours for that?
See, we're lucky in that respect where every little village have their own doctor's surgery.
Yeah. See, even though I have doctors all around me, I mean, there's 4 hospitals here. Not one doctor within 5 hours of me would take me as a patient.
Yeah.
So for me, teleconferencing with my doctor, I will take it any day.
Yeah.
Me and him
Yeah.
email insanity. You know, you know, here's the pictures, here, because we've got all the equipment. I've
Yeah.
got pulse ox, I've got scales, I've got blood equipment, I've got like the only thing I can't do is draw blood.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you know. But so I personally don't need to go to the office to look at him and say, I need these refills, these are my sugars, and these are the blood tests I need ran this
Yeah.
month.
Yeah.
Um, I like Mexico's system. Like I have been through Mexico, well, not been through Mexico, but looked at their system. It's pretty good.
And I suppose, like for us,
Mm-hmm.
I have to fight to have my B12 jab every 8 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
For me, if I don't have that, it's life threatening.
Right.
The same as with diabetes without your medication.
Uh-huh.
But that's the big thing over here now. They can't get the medication to fulfill the prescriptions.
Same here.
Yeah.
Same here. But Shannon says in Mexico, you can get a lot of stuff done at the pharmacy, including flu tests, basic blood work. They have a doctor there for a quick clinic, and
Yeah.
you just go to the hospital for major tests and scans. And you get a physical and digital copy of your medical records to take with you in case you're in a different town.
Now, with us, everything is on our phones.
Mm-hmm.
Everything from our doctor's surgery
Uh-huh.
to what we're waiting for from the hospital as well.
That's awesome. You know.
Where do we? Yeah, see, I've got the NHS app. Oh, where do we? Oh, I can never get that right.
There you
So
are. Yeah.
if I click it,
Make sure
right,
no
let me
important
just.
information.
No, it's not. It's not.
Okay.
I'll scroll past that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I can. Oh, Jesus Christ. I can
There you
do
are.
all that.
Mm-hmm.
So if I click, where do we? Up and coming and past appointments.
Mm-hmm.
It's got everything on there.
Right.
So I can click into GP surgery appointments,
Uh-huh.
and that will tell me when my next appointments are due.
Yeah. Yeah,
That
I
is
have that with
brilliant.
my doc.
Yeah,
Well, you know what's even more brilliant is, okay, let's say you don't need a physical exam. It's
yeah.
just to go in and get your because we have to see our doctor to get refills. Like they
Oh,
can't
see,
just
we
call them.
don't.
Yeah,
We
like.
just we go on that app and
Mm-hmm.
we click medication renewal.
Mm-hmm.
We click what we want, and then within a week we can pick it up.
See, we don't get that joy, but it's also like your B12.
Yeah,
Okay, you have to go to the doctor to get that done.
yeah,
See here, I can do a B12 shot.
yeah.
It ain't that hard, you know.
I think with them, why they asked us all to put it onto our smartphones
Mm-hmm.
is because if you have an accident,
Right.
they
Your
can
records are right
access
there.
that app. Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
And that's very handy. I think the thing that we're not talking about now a lot is mental health.
yes,
Notice we go right to medical when we're talking about recovery.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah. Mental health has got such a massive impact on everybody these days.
Right.
I think that's because people are burnt out.
Mm-hmm.
People don't necessarily know what burnt out mean, so they
Right.
straight away think it's their mental health.
Right. Well,
Not that
I
I'm
think
not
it.
saying that people haven't got mental health,
Right.
but burnout makes you feel like you've hit a brick wall, you can't get out of bed, you can't do anything.
And that's total burnout. The
Yeah,
early signs of burnout is you don't give a care.
yeah,
Oh, I'm 10 minutes late for work. Oh, well.
yeah,
Oh, I've got an email. I've got an answer. I'm not really interested in answering that right now.
yeah,
Oh, you lose passion for your job. You
yeah,
lose passion for things in your life. You feel tired. You feel stressed out. You have anxiety off the charts.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. You don't come up with new ideas. Oh, yeah.
And yeah, that's the way it works.
Yeah.
Because management don't like it when they think that you can't do your job,
Yeah. Right.
as harsh as that sounds.
Right. Well, and see, and this is the thing that occurs in management is they don't even notice it in their own selves.
No, no.
I have a manager I love deeply. Like I don't care if she rang me up at 9 a.m. in the morning, which is like an hour after I go to bed, and says, "I need you to come on."
Yeah,
I'll come on. I'll hop
yeah,
in. I've rolled out of bed for her many a times to jump into a meeting or to do something or whatever. No big deal. She's quiet. She's checking the box. I came to work today. I came to work today. I came to work today. And it's because she's knackered the living fuck out.
yeah, yeah,
We've got CEOs in businesses are like, done. Like they're
yeah.
barely running their company.
What's Shannon saying? Do you know, a good management team like you've got, good manager is the
Mm-hmm.
best person you can have
Right.
because they know their staff. I'm a great believer in any good manager gets to know his team.
Mm-hmm.
They get to know if there's anything worrying about you so that you can go to them and say, look, I'm having a shit day. Do you mind if I work out the back today?
Right.
And I
Or do you
think that's
mind?
what,
Right.
the same as like when me and you speak, we know straight away if one of us are having a shit day.
Right.
We know that straight away. Yeah.
Exactly. And we know where we're at, what we're doing, what's going on in the business. But that's because we're in the business. Like we have been our own managers for so many years.
Yeah.
It's like we have to learn to prioritize different things now.
Yeah.
First one is self-awareness.
I know I speak a lot about Parker, but Parker changed my complete outlook on work.
Oh, yeah.
He made me realize how much I'd been spending at work and not giving the kids the time, even though they're grown adults.
Right.
I'd forgotten that they still needed me as well.
Well, not only that, but, I know where your office is in your home. It's the same place my office is, basically.
Yeah.
And it's the first thing you see in the morning, and it's the last thing you see at night.
Yeah.
And, if you don't work from home, if you have to go into the office, are you there longer than you should be? If your job is 9 to 5, are you there at 9 o'clock at night?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's, and not getting anything done, but still there, trying to.
And I think that's where companies have got people over barrels these days. Because companies know they can say, well, if you're not going to work late, we'll find somebody that will.
Or that'll affect the promotion we're looking at for you.
Yeah. So they know they can say what they want to. If you want to keep your job, you will do it, which is unfair.
Well, it's very unfair. It's very unfair. And we get that.
Yes.
Like, we get, if you're not logged on, you can't make money.
Yeah.
You've got to have so much promotion time to get there. And it's like, do I? Can I ride on my brand?
With us, we are self-employed.
Yes and no.
Without us as top readers, I'm going to blow steam out of my own arse now.
Okay.
Without us as top readers, they would lose so many clients because those clients would find us wherever we go.
Right. Exactly. And they're starting to realize that. They're starting to realize that it's like, we have to take care of our crew. If not our crew, they may be a dime a dozen, but half that dozen ain't worth a dime.
No. And we are very much alike. If something is said to us that we don't like, we will just put our cards on the table.
Right.
We'll pull management up because to us, they don't owe us anything and we don't owe them anything.
Well, I disagree with that. And here's where I disagree with that. They do owe us something.
Yeah.
They owe us respect and humanity. We owe them respect and humanity.
Some of them.
If they've gone to bat for me or they've gone and told an upper above me to shut the hell up and leave us alone. Example, the CEO of Ingenio or chairman of the board, one of the two, I forgot what his title is right now. That dude, Warren, he can call me up right now, said, I'm starting a new network. It's going to take us a year to get flowing. Do you want to hop on? Give me my extension. Let's go, Warren. Let's ride the train.
Do I've been trying to get an appointment with that person for so long.
You can't. You literally cannot. That man is so damn busy.
Even somebody higher up that would listen to us as readers.
But they aren't there.
No.
There's a gap.
What they charge a customer and what we get paid is daylight robbery.
Well, it is. It is. But at the same time, that daylight robbery, it isn't right. And I totally agree with it isn't right. But they're not going to change that. The
No.
reason they're not going to change that is because they can't see the benefit. What they see is numbers.
Yeah. Whereas if they dropped, you'll understand what I mean once I've explained it. I'm a great believer if you keep your prices competitive,
Mm-hmm.
that's where you'll get a constant flow of clients.
Right. But here's the thing with that is you got to look at the full piece of the pie. Okay. Like, let's take our one favorite company
Yeah.
that we met on.
Yeah.
All right. So you know what the customer pie is. How much is it?
Over here, they pay $2.99 per private question.
Okay. Let's break this math down, okay? All right. So that $2.99, first off the top, Google or Apple takes $1. Okay. Then you've got the storage of the software to run the situation, and I believe that is 0.8%. I would estimate at. So that is 15 cents. So we're down minus 15. Let's back that out. Remember to put the point there. Thank you. All right, so that's at 184. Okay, then let's say the company takes $1 out for overhead. That's staff and management. All right, we're at 84 cents. I know what we make, so we'll take that 46-ish cents out. That leaves 38 cents for advertisement.
But they don't do that.
Yeah, they do.
I disagree with you. I never ever see advertisement for that app over here.
I see it all over Facebook. I see it all over Instagram. I see it all over social media.
Do you think that's because where you are in the world is more
Targeted.
prioritized? Because it's,
Large.
and I think perhaps because it's a German company as well.
Mm-hmm. But it's also population based.
Yeah,
The U.S. has more population,
yeah,
and local laws.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Because you know yourself, on the US company, I am the top.
right.
And
Yeah.
most of my clients are US based
Mm-hmm.
or Australia and New Zealand.
Right. Okay. So remember, I said that 38 cents.
Yeah.
Okay, that 38 cents. Put all those 38 cents together. It normally costs them 4 times that amount to get a repetitive client.
I just believe if you put your prices at a reasonable rate, clients will
Mm-hmm.
use you more.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
But they
So,
don't understand that.
right. And it's not that they don't understand that. Okay. What they're doing is they're looking at the market.
Yeah.
And if we look at the market, the average price is $13.99.
But for one question,
Yeah.
see over you it's not.
Um, let's go to our top competitor. Okay. That is not owned by the company.
Yeah.
One question takes about 1 minute to answer.
Yeah.
Okay. 13.99, 13.99, 13.99, 19.99, 9.99, $8.
Let me have a look over you. Some of them start at £1.50.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus, there's a lot more that's just opened up over here.
Uh-huh.
Have you heard of John Edward?
I've heard of John Edward.
£850 for one person.
Yep.
That's just plain greed.
That's just demand, honey.
See, people are vulnerable to come to us in the beginning.
Right.
But I think charging that amount of money is playing on vulnerability.
He has a 2-year waiting list.
What was the other one that came up?
Yeah.
Is Teresa is it Capitou?
Teresa Caputo? Yes.
She's a lot cheaper. She's only £175.
Or go grocery shopping in New England.
Like we've got that one that we spoke about
Uh-huh.
a few weeks ago. He's £190 for half an hour.
Uh-huh.
I would never, ever charge anybody that.
Right. But you
then
have...
I suppose the difference is we have understanding.
Right.
We're not greedy in that respect.
It has nothing to do with greed. I will tell you point blank it doesn't. He's had 2 TV shows. He's got multiple books out. He has a full staff. He's not a one-man band.
Oh, see.
And his demand is high.
I just think that is playing on the vulnerability of people.
Mm-hmm. All right. Gordon Smith. Gordon.
See, that's why I love this, because we're having a conversation about how different things are.
Right. Well, and it's not only that, but it's looking at what you're dealing with.
Yeah.
Okay. Because everyone and this is going onto a tangent, but it's perfectly okay. Everyone like, let's take John Edwards. He's had multiple TV shows. He has multiple books out. That means he has a full staff, meaning he has assistants, he has agents, he has marketing people, he has tour agents, he has tour people, he has a tour crew. All that has to be paid for out of his readings. And you know as well as I do, we have to control the tap.
Yeah.
Okay. This man, if he was at, just say, I charge $49 right now for a 15-minute reading.
Yeah.
If he was charging that amount of money, one, he couldn't support his staff. And two, the floodgate would be so far open, you might as well just set him in a box somewhere because he's going to kill himself.
See, perhaps I look at it different, because over here, that's an extortionate rate.
Not over there. There are psychics over there that charge much more.
I'll be honest and say I haven't come across any.
Right.
Perhaps it's because I'm in my own little bubble.
That, what is that? Give me a minute to go find them.
Do you mean Psychic Sally?
TV Psychic.
Let's have a look. Sally Morgan is a massive one over here.
Okay.
Where are we?
All right. Book a reading with Sally Morgan.
That's the one.
Okay. Phone
She
reading.
is massive over here.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so this is for her as an she has moved on to having um, people working under her.
Yeah, she does a lot of public shows.
Mm-hmm. But she's a network runner. She's not doing things.
She is herself. She does a lot of things like tours
Mm-hmm.
herself, if you know what I
Yeah.
mean.
Right. I'm saying that. But what I'm saying is to book a direct reading with her. Yeah, she's on the road. Um, is June 3rd, June 4th, June 11th, June
Yeah.
12th, June 13th. All over the place. Um, right now, you can only talk to Elizabeth, um, which I don't know Elizabeth, but even she looks to be a little expensive to me. Um, but she's endorsed by Sally. It's a click for advisor site. It's a very nice site. Um, available pin, and it doesn't even tell me her price. All right. So
Excuse me. Do you know her estimated net worth is £10 million?
Mm-hmm. Very much so. And that's not even batting an eye.
Elizabeth is £1.50 a minute.
Okay. And she's working multiple sites. Just
Yeah,
FYI.
yeah.
All right. Book with Kim. She currently isn't taking any appointments. Okay. What I find interesting is no one is like they don't work alone.
It's intriguing to see what Others
Mm-hmm.
do, if you know what I mean.
Well, it is, but at the same time, it's like I can look and tell you the breakdown because I've been in the industry so long. I know what networks are paying. Um, let's just go to psyche.co.uk.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
owned by. Hang on, I'll tell you who that is owned by. That is owned by the same people who own Ask the Answer.
Ah. Okay. Nancy Allen, do you know this one?
I'm just looking. I know them from pictures, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Right, let's find readers. See, this is a weird one
Okay.
because you can't actually book a reading.
Mm-hmm. This is problem one with me. Is when I look to book a reading and they don't have a reading.
No,
Okay.
no.
When I Google like a psychic, I expect to see a way to book an appointment with you
Yeah,
or
yeah,
book a reading with you. Um,
yeah.
mm,
Let me have a look.
okay. So I'm looking at David Williams. He probably is a one man band, but his readings are 150 for 30 minutes.
Yeah,
Okay. But he's got some books out there. He's got some writings out there. Every time you take a step forward in this industry, you put out a book, you put out a deck, you put out something, you incur more expenses, so your
yeah.
fee has to go up. Okay.
Right,
Um,
let me just. This is going to be good for all our listeners.
uh huh.
If they could comment how much they would pay for a reading.
Mm hmm.
It'd be interesting to see because everybody's from all over the world.
It would be. But also, it's to think of the different prices because this
Yeah,
is my problem. Okay. I run a special every month.
yeah,
Uh, okay. I have clients that won't we book the special. If I
yeah,
go on sale on, the green net on Keen, I have clients that won't call me. They will go to another listing that's at the full price and call me.
yeah, yeah.
Because when you look too cheap, when you do not value your skills, when you do not show that value, people don't want you.
I like LR
Mm-hmm.
because they are really, really good with the way they give back to us.
Mm-hmm. They are.
The management team are there whenever we need them.
Mm-hmm.
You know yourself, if there's an issue, you contact them. Even though they're different time zones, they will get back to you.
Right. But they also have a lot of limitations.
Yeah,
Okay. One, their marketing's limited.
yeah,
Two, their payment system is limited. Three, their email system is very limited. Like I put out content 3 times a week. I can't put it out on that site. I
I
can't
found
email my customers and tell them when I'm on.
I found out you can send a block email to all your clients.
Once a week. And that block email is, again, it's very text based. I can't do graphics, I can't do input
Right, yeah,
there. I mean, it's very old school.
yeah.
Okay. I can't even control my price there.
No, that's the only downfall for me there as well.
See, there's a lot of downfalls there. I don't have a booking button that I can put on other sites.
Yeah,
Their email sucks. I can't organize my customers in the order that I want to keep them in my CRM. I can't keep notes on customers that last. Like this one only uses 3 minutes. This, like I would love to be able to put all my ones that only use 3 minutes into a box and
yeah,
not see them.
yeah,
Okay. So every place comes with a different value.
yeah,
And, if let's take them for example, if they would go to an app, which would be lovely, instead of having to use one browser on a laptop or a desktop, if they went to an app situation, they'd have to increase their price by $1.50
yeah,
because that money doesn't go to them. That money goes to the platform that they're hosting the app on, be it Apple or Google. These are prices, things that they don't see in your price. Like nobody takes into consideration everything that goes into that price. And that's the harder piece there is when you're balancing out your price to take in the consideration of the cost of your equipment, the cost of the upgrade of your equipment, the cost of the services you have to pay for, the cost of the systems you have to pay for, the cost of your overhead.
The only thing that gets me with companies, this is going to sound so bad.
Mm-hmm.
We have quiet months,
Right.
but yet management still take home their regular wage because they
Right.
contracted to the hours.
Mm-hmm.
But yet we'd online longer than that. And sometimes our months are really quiet
Mm-hmm.
and we make hardly anything.
But also the company makes hardly anything.
That's true.
Okay.
That's
That's
true.
that win-win. They still have to pay their staff. We
Yeah.
still have to pay for our cell phone bill. We still have to pay our internet. The business in itself is an ebb and flow. And I've long recommended, and I'm still working on this myself. Advisors have to get a month ahead.
Yeah. I'm 3 months ahead.
Wonderful. You're at stage 3 of
Yeah.
the financial freedom plan.
Yeah.
You have to get that ahead so that if you do have a quiet month, and this is the reason Aeson works so many different networks. Guess what? It may be quiet over on
Yeah.
it may be quiet over on Fortunica, but dear God's click for advisor and private appointments are kicking my ass.
Yeah.
You
And
know.
that's where you've got to get the balance right for you as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I get so tired of seeing companies that don't get the other side of the business
Yeah.
and psychics that don't get the other side of their business.
Yeah.
We're in business together. And this leads to burnout. This leads to crashing out. This leads to financial downfall for everybody. Because you get so tired of like, I'm only making 43 cents here. Yeah, but you're barely got any energy to put into it. You barely got any freedom to do anything with. You're so limited, you can't do CRM. You can't manage customers. You can't bring customers back to the app. It would be so great if I could just pop in there and send a message, now taking live readings.
Yeah.
And it goes to everybody that I've ever talked to. Or it's
Yeah.
Memorial Day weekend here in the US. Here's a coupon for Memorial Day weekend. Come see me this weekend.
Yeah.
But companies are so afraid to give that freedom to their advisors because they're so afraid of the bad apples that go, I'm leaving the site and I'm going over to, Psychic Chameleons. Join me there.
Yeah.
Like they live in a scarce mentality when it's like you don't need to be scarce. You need
No.
to be functional. You need to be fiery. You need to be innovative. And you can't do that when you're waiting for the next shoe to drop.
No. I've learned when it's busy on one app, then I up my own private work.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, when it's quiet on
Mm-hmm.
one of them, I just up my own private work then to cover that.
Right. But also that may be time for the universe telling you, take an extra mani-pedi. Take an
Yeah.
extra nap. Go sit down at your dining room table and have a meal. Get away from your desk.
Yeah.
Because us psychics have guys that are like, you ain't doing that today. You're going to go plant your ass on the couch. Get
Yeah.
over it.
Yeah. Definitely.
And that's not within your value. Why are you doing that? Yeah, go play with the baby.
Brenda, you should see the video somebody got in his possession of the baby.
It will be up in the Patreon. I've got a lot of things on my to-do list, but I took yesterday to get June organized.
This morning, Sean came out out of the room and he said, God, Mum, he's done a nappy full. So I went in there and he hadn't, he was farting. 10 minutes later, I went to check on him because he was sleeping. He had shit up to his neck.
Mm-hmm.
He had a volcano when he was sleeping.
Mm-hmm. But see, that happens even in our lives. We
Yeah.
have volcanoes. Sometimes we get into something and it's like dredging on. And then sometimes we have to learn to let go. Like, this ain't working. See you later.
Yeah.
And all that gets tied into so much of our everyday life that people don't get it. People don't get that habits and routines are fabulous, but when they become torture, they're not doing you any good.
No.
Okay? When you are sitting there and you're prioritizing your value, your stress, your life, your happiness, is when you start making changes and the universe start going, oh shit, look at her.
I like the saying, let me.
I like the saying, let them.
For me, let me represents, let me control my own life.
Mm-hmm.
Let me make my own decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Let me have my own financial control.
Mm-hmm.
Let me live my life how I want to.
Mm-hmm. And see, for me, let them means I don't have to follow your bandwagon.
Yeah.
I don't have to get into your drama. I don't have to waste my energy on your stupidity. I don't have to do these donkey and stick punny shows.
Yeah.
I don't care what people say. I don't care what people do. I care about what feeds my tank.
Yeah. So if you think about it, both our sayings mean the same thing,
Mm-hmm.
but we say it in a different order.
Well, not only that, but it's from a different perspective.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, yours is like, give me the room, and I'm like, I'm taking the room. Fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, and it's different perspectives, but it's the same action.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's different views, but it's the same positioning, and we have that between the two of us a lot.
Yeah.
You look at it and go, these companies are driving me crazy. They don't pay us enough, and it's like the only way they could pay us more is either cut down what they're doing for us or raise their price.
And I suppose that's the other part of it, whereas because the company's German, we don't see anything over here for.
Right. Yeah, you always say things nicer than I do. I don't have a filter.
I just try and be polite.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't seen our private conversations, have they?
Well, you're very polite even in them, but
On times.
all the time. Like, honey, you have yet to step out of boxes. But it's not only that because they're German, but it's because one, like, you don't have psychic commercials over there on TV.
No, no.
Okay, you have very strict regulations on what can be advertised there.
Yeah,
So you're not going to see it. That's why most of your clients aren't UK.
yeah,
Although I think they should sell you as a UK psychic. Point blank. Anything that has your name on it should have UK afterwards because it is
yeah.
a specific flavor of psychic that is sought after. And those are like marketing things that people don't look at either.
When I'm come across a new client and they
Mm-hmm.
come back to me for a second time,
Uh-huh.
because they all come first for their freebie to see if there's a connection there.
Right.
When they come back for a second time, I always make them aware I'm in the UK
Uh-huh.
because of the time zones as well.
Well, none of that, but the style of reading.
Yeah,
Okay. I know some UKs that just want your name and birth date and shut the fuck up. I'll tell you what you need to know.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
Um,
then this is the other thing you're probably going to find crazy. I like to work with just a direct question,
mm-hmm.
and then what comes after that gives them the clarity.
Right. Very much so. I like specific questions because then I can get in and get done.
Yeah, yeah,
Like, let's get you moving. And that is something that's very controversial in the psychic world
yeah.
is time. How
Yeah.
much do you give them? And it's like, I don't need them for 6 years. I want them as a client for 6 years, but I want you band-aid up and moving to the next step. I don't want to be sitting here telling you every hour on the hour, he loves you, he loves you, he loves you, he loves you, he loves you. Because he may love you, but if you're not happy in that situation, you have to make the choice to leave.
And over here, I have to be careful what words I use.
Mm-hmm.
Because I had to tell a client today, and I hated doing it, that she had an unhealthy obsession with her
Mm-hmm.
ex.
Mm-hmm.
She couldn't understand that. But then when I
Right.
said to her, right, you're stalking him, you're watching his social media,
Mm-hmm.
you're asking me 12 times a day, when is he going to contact you next?
Mm-hmm.
That is an obsession, and that's not healthy for anyone.
And
And
it's
this
not
is
going to be a
why,
functional relationship.
no, no,
No.
no.
Yeah. So, with all that in mind, our listeners, I want you to take time this week to do an energy check. What is draining you and where's your fuel tank?
Yeah, yeah,
What fills your fuel tank up? You guys have heard me if you're a listener of the show on repeat or you've listened over this past week. What's fueling my tank up right now is Second Life. It is getting out in there and just having fun and making friendship and not being on.
yeah.
It is like going for a walk.
And the other thing to remember for your own, I'm going to say mental health, make sure you're drinking enough of this.
Yes.
Water keeps your brain moving, it keeps
Yes.
you active. And I know
Right.
people will say that's stupid, but it's not. Because if you
Right.
think about it, you need to
Mhm.
revitalize your body with something natural.
Right. Now, I'm going to say this because, we always hear 8 ounces a day, 8 glasses a day, whatever.
Yeah,
Let's put this in real science, real usable science. It is 4 bottles of water a day.
yeah, yeah,
Why? Because 4 sounds a lot less than 8.
yeah,
And you
yeah.
don't even realize it.
We have always got bottled water in the fridge. That's all Sean ever drinks.
Right.
It's better for you health-wise.
Mm-hmm.
It keeps you moving because you're refueling. And yes,
Mm-hmm.
water don't have anything to refuel you,
Right.
but if you think about it, a car can't go without fuel.
No, it can't, and it can't move without oil, which water for the body is the human's oil.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. All right, honey, what you working this week?
Excuse me a moment. Oh, Brenda, thank you.
Right.
Thank you. That means a lot.
Yeah.
I'm doing my normal shifts. I'm doing my 9 till midnight with my few hours off
Mm-hmm.
halfway through the day on Life Reader
Mm-hmm.
and Fortunica.
Uh-huh.
Um, I'm also available for the private readings.
Yep. You can contact her. Her Facebook link is down there. And
Um,
it is you have to pay for upfront like you should.
yes, yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
Yep. I am doing my 11 to 6s, and I'm going to be doing some afternoons. And Hazel's like, "Oh my God, you don't get any sleep." No, I get sleep, but I get my best sleep in the mornings.
Yeah, yeah,
That like the vibration is different in the early mornings, and I can just sleep.
yeah.
Yeah. Whereas Brenda says my vampirilism comes out.
I'm not saying nothing.
All right, so I'm on cue. So, all right, we do want to take time to thank our Patreons, our baristas, Beverly Walker, Mika G, Kathy, Mary Winfield, Brenda, Joan Owens, Shannon C, Shannon D, Lady Gwendolyn, Charles Shaw, Tracy Van, Caitlin Bell, and Devon. If you'd like to support the show, please visit us at pcspnetwork.com and hit barista. And it's ran through Patreon, so it is international.
Which is something that's good because we reach everyone.
We do. We have a large Russian audience. We have a large Swedish audience.
Do we really?
We do. Let me pull up our analytics because me and you haven't talked about this. And what the hell? Let's go ahead and do that. Podcast. All right. On average, in a monthly time, we get 28,722 listens.
Jesus.
Yeah, like you got moved over here into a real place. Out of that, most of them find us in Spotify,
Right.
and audience. 94% of our audience is in the US. We have 2% in Australia, a little bit underneath 1% in Canada, Portland, UK, Sweden, Saudi Arabia, India, Iran, Iraq, Spain, Russia, South Korea, Singapore, New Zealand, Iran. I said that one. Germany, Ireland, Mexico. Hello, Shannon's husband. Puerto Rico, Denmark, France, Philippines, Dominican Republic, uh, Norway, Netherlands, Japan, Vietnam, Egypt, Taiwan, Brazil, Belgium, Ecuador, Sweden, South Africa, uh, Monaco, United Emirates, Nepal, Finland, Nigeria, Guam, Romania, um, Ireland, Iceland, Ukraine, China, and Turkey.
Bloody hell.
Hmm.
That's really interesting.
Hmm. Yeah, in our demographics, there's 28 to 60.
That's good going.
Yeah, and that's because of our baristas. Like they support
Yeah,
the station, they make things run. They tell us what to talk, well, not what to talk about, but like what they like, what they don't like.
yeah.
Yeah, so we kick ass and take names.
And the audience is good to us. If they want something, they'll say it as well.
Exactly. All right. Now, let me check and see if we had any interactions. Now, you guys can leave us comments over on. Okay, we've had none over here, but you can leave Q&A, questions, thoughts on the episode, comments. You can do all that over on Spotify. You can also comment down here and below in YouTube land or Facebook land. We love your comments afterwards as long as you're not a spammer. Oh, interesting.
What have you just found?
Oh, it was a comment on another show.
Ah.
Yeah, I was looking to see if we had any for you because we had a lot of love for you on our first episode, and I shared that with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, but we do reply to your comments in live episodes, so you have to go back and listen as we catch them.
Right.
Yeah.
It really do.
It really does. Well, not only that, but here, because we have the baristas, we have the full support.
Yeah.
We're not communicating outwardly to, we need a social media post, or we need this done, or we need that done, or
Yeah.
did we get any comments? We can handle all that ourselves.
Yeah. And in the winter, you'll even get the chance to see me in my PJs and my fluffy dressing gowns because it gets cold over here.
Yeah, well, it's cold over there most of the year.
It is.
It is. All right, guys, we will see you next week. I will be back tomorrow on the Psychic Coffee Shop, where we'll be digging into news and events. We'll talk to you then. Bye, y'all.
Bye.